Cancer, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. We also have Pisces here. Wow. Okay, so your reading starts off with the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. So, side by side, two beautiful cards related to the long term, related to love, related to community, security, a sense of fulfillment is here. And then that is quickly followed by the Everything is Fine card, which is a lot like the Ten of Swords in this deck, and then the Hanged One reversed. So I want to say that for a lot of you, it's like you have this vision in your mind of what could be. You have this dream, these hopes that are really gorgeous. Maybe it's related to family, to love, to your kind of long-term vision for your life. And it feels really clear, but then this part of you comes in that quickly tries to derail that and sabotage that and tell you that that's not possible. And the sense that I get here is that you're really needing a shift in perspective. But when you try to gain that by maybe going inward and reflecting or asking your guides or consulting your higher self or whatever process you go through to reflect and to go inward, it feels like that saboteur within you comes out during those reflections and you believe that that's the truth. It's almost like you're misinterpreting or you're sort of miscategorizing or attributing the wisdom that you're gaining. Let me try to simplify this because it's coming through really jumbled and I can feel it happening to me as I'm trying to channel it for you. So this is helpful. Let me just sit in it for a second. So it's a fear that gets translated as intuition. There's a voice that comes through in your head that feels really adamant, really certain, really clear. And to you, because you're used to authority figures in your life speaking with a level of authority and confidence, when a voice comes through in your mind that sounds authoritative and confident, you believe that it's the truth. And it's this sort of like internalized capitalism or like internalized even misogyny for some of you, where when someone speaks with a sort of conviction, you trust that voice. And it's like this saboteur within you has taken on that voice because it knows that that's the easiest way to convince you that it is true. You're needing to disrupt that and needing to go inward and listen for a voice that sounds gentle, a voice that sounds kind. And to begin to trust gentleness and kindness, to practice it at least, and to kind of divest from this automatic trust that you place in authority. And for some of you, I can feel you recoiling because you're like, I don't trust authority. Like, I'm anti-authoritarian, I'm Uranian, like whatever. I know I have some Aquarius people coming up here. And for those of you who do have strong Aquarius placements, I want to remind you that you are co-ruled. Depending on the tradition that you subscribe to astrologically, you could consider yourself co-ruled by Saturn and Uranus. And so while you do have this Uranian side of you that is very rebellious and innovative and questions authority and questions what is like commonly accepted, there's also this part of you that's very Saturnian that kind of craves cohesion and craves community and might be willing to sacrifice some level of integrity at times if it means kind of feeling connected. And so I feel this push and pull, and you don't even have to have Aquarius placements to feel this. I get the sense that most of you here struggle with this because you both rebel and reject authority while also kind of submitting to it at times. And that might happen for you at this point in your life, mostly internally. Like it's this residual voice of the oppressor, of the abuser of power that lives within your mind and that tells you that your dreams aren't possible, that tells you that you have to kind of like acquiesce and submit and surrender your hopes and your vision in order to fit in. This is possible for you. In fact, it's probable this 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles outcome for you is probable, but you need to get in the habit of watering those hopes and dreams and watering that vision and caring for it as you would care for a plant. And that means coming back to it regularly at a regular cadence and creating a consistency of care for your hopes and your dreams. For a lot of you, that means getting into a practice of like weekly visioning and sitting down and actually spending time with this vision that feels like beautiful but also scary, and sitting there and actually allowing yourself to go into detail on what your life would look like or what your life would feel like more so. Emphasis and focus on the feelings. How do you want to feel? One thing that has been really helpful for me over the years is a practice of future visioning, where I sit down and just allow my imagination to run wild, and I pick a future date. Maybe it's like 2 months from now, 2 years from now, whatever. And I just imagine a day in the life. And I write notes. I just like allow myself to dream big. I get detailed. I imagine how I would feel when I wake up, what I would do, where I would go, who I would see. And I really indulge myself. And by getting into that fantasy and writing it down and then setting some sort of intention, how would a person who is living that life feel? How would they behave? What kind of choices would they make? And then you try to act as if. And yeah, it's manifesty and it can be a little like new agey and woo, but there's something very real and very practical about getting into the mindset of the person who's living the life that you want to live. And I think for some of you, you need to allow yourself to dream and then come back to those dreams on a regular basis. I have like a digital notebook. And so I'll set a reminder for myself to come back to a vision in like 3 months or however long and check in and see what has unfolded. I did this the other day, and about like 60% of the vision that I had written down for myself just 3 months ago had actually come true. And sure, there was 40% that wasn't, but like part of dreaming big means that you want to kind of overshoot. And I think that for a lot of you, there are very real and like vulnerable reasons why this is scary for you, because you're afraid of getting let down, of getting disappointed. You feel like you don't have the resources, the connections, the privilege to be able to live the life that you're dreaming of. But I want to tell you that some of that is the saboteur in your head that's trying to protect you. And so going through some type of like ritual of honoring this part of yourself too, and even expressing appreciation, gratitude to that part of you that wants to keep you small in order to protect you, understanding that that part has served a very real and important purpose in your life, but that in this next stage of your life where you are ready to open up to more blessings and more beauty, that part needs to find a different role to play. Because at this point, it's holding you back, and you have the resources, the tools, the knowledge, the wisdom, the boundaries in order to protect yourself. And so literally talking to this part of you that wants to hold you back, expressing gratitude, and then asking them if there's another part that they can play in your life or another part they would like to play instead of keeping you small. Maybe they turn into the planner. Maybe they turn into the part of you that sort of shores up and secures the foundations of your dreams, that helps you find the gaps and that helps you take practical measured steps in order to build the foundation that you want. Because they're not going anywhere. They're not going to disappear. They just need to play a different part in your life. I'm doing internal family systems at you right now. And so if you haven't explored that before, it might be worthwhile to look into internal family systems. I think it would be really helpful for you. This vision is possible. It is probable. And I think getting into the habit of saying that to yourself, of checking in regularly and affirming that, is going to be really, really, really beneficial for you. Okay. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can find the link in my bio, and I love you. Bye.